My name is Alice Buick, I'm 17. I go to Chatham House Grammar School. I think that, the main things that I think about myself is that I'm very passionate, especially about like veganism and like feminism and all that sort of stuff.
Hi, my name's Joe. I'm 17. I come from Kennington, best place on earth. My friends are Finn, and I've got a lot of other friends at home, including Henry, Harry, Will, people like that mainly.
I'm Sarah. I'm 17. I live in Ashford. I like to read comics and play video games.
Hi, I'm Finn. I'm 17. I come from Herne Bay in Kent. I do level 3 film and television production at Canterbury College. In my spare time, I like to draw, skateboard and play video games.
The main way I express myself, I would say just like not holding back with my views, I guess. I don't do anything that's like an art or anything that's like conventionally expressing yourself, but if I get asked a question or if someone engages in conversation with me about something that I am passionate about or I know a bit about, I won't hold back and I'll very much go into conversation with them. Obviously trying not to completely force my views or offend anyone.
To express myself, I think it means that you get to release a lot of emotions which normally build up inside. It's especially key for teenagers because teenagers do go through a lot of emotions for untold reasons. I don't actually understand why, but I think that expressing yourself is very important. That I like to express myself through music, I also like to express myself through art, and I also like to express myself through fashion.
I don't think I'm really inspired by anything, but I like to dye my hair a lot and express myself through how I dress and what I do with my makeup. I've had my hair like every single colour except green, and I smother myself in glitter fairly regularly.
Express myself is to show off my individuality and how I'm unique, and I'm inspired by a lot of, it sounds stupid, but I'm inspired by a lot of rappers who aren't scared to be inspired, just like show themselves, express themselves, like Tupac and Biggie and Action Bronson and people like that. But I mainly express myself through my clothing. It's like I don't dress too elaborately, but I dress within my comfort zone and what I like to wear, not what other people would like me to wear.
Yeah, I have. And I think mostly it comes from my family more than I would say it comes from like other people, just because as a generation I think that we've been, more praised for thinking and for like being able to express ourselves in unconventional ways, I guess. Whereas like my family, my eldest sister is like 25, and so this is a bit stereotypical, but like I'm not saying that then she doesn't have the same views, but her particularly in my family get very like touchy about, I don't shave like my armpits or anything like that, and they get very touchy about it, and if I ever bring it up or not necessarily bring it up, but it comes to light in like a conversation, immediately you feel like an uncomfortable tone in the room, and it's just they don't know how to approach it, and then they'll be very offensive or be very ignorant around the subject, and I think that that's where I mainly get judged for expressing myself. But in like friends or in school or anything like that, I think it's quite common now to be different or to express yourself in like different ways, so I don't think it's been that much said to me.
Not really. People used to call me fish face back in school, so I don't like being called a fish. Very personally, and once someone forced fish food down my throat.
Yeah, I have been judged for the way I look mostly through secondary school, because I went to a snobby grammar school, but not there anymore.
Yeah, especially throughout high school. It wasn't necessarily the teachers that judged me, but I was judged due to my old stretcher, which was like 11mm, like hole, pretty big, and my nose piercing and that. And yeah, I wasn't, like, a lot of people would kind of like, I don't know, not scared but judgmental about it, because it was different to what they're used to.
To a certain extent, I understand why school have to not let you express yourself fully, but I mean that as in I do agree with like uniform, like because uniform has like many benefits. That means you don't see people's like backgrounds necessarily, you don't see the people's wealth, and it's just in general I quite like the idea of uniform. But I think that by not being allowed like tattoos or extensive makeup or piercings or hair colour or anything like that, I think that's just a bit stupid. It's just carrying on this notion that matters.
Not so much college, because college is good. You can wear what you want. You can be who you want to be. I mean, like, I think there's limits to it. Like, I don't think nudists are welcome here. Like, that'd be a bit weird. But no, I think college is good. But back in school, the only thing you could express yourself with was a bag. You had to have the coolest bags to express yourself. If you're a girl, it probably wasn't a bigger thing, because you probably either had a handbag or a rucksack, and if you had a rucksack, they might have been quite plain. But that's what girls did. They walked around in big groups with all their handbags and stuff like that. And boys, they either like had their little man bags on, but then there was select groups in the girls and the boys who would have like different types of bags on. And I used to have like a spray can bag. And that's how I used to express myself, because I used to love like graffiti and stuff like that.
I don't think it's right that school restricts the way you dress or what you do with your appearance, because I don't think it really affects the way you learn, as opposed to who you are as a person.
I do feel like, especially in my old school, it didn't so much affect me. I don't know why, but yeah, like elaborate hairstyles and colours and quite a lot of piercings actually weren't allowed. And they used to say it wasn't appropriate for the learning environment, that it distracted people, but I don't personally think that a piercing could distract someone, nor colour hair. Like, yeah, if someone wants to have their hair that colour, if someone's got a problem staring at it, then they need to sort out their attention span, really, don't they?
So I think that, like, as a society, even though we accept it, like, we're not as aggressive towards it, we still have this, like, we still invalidate everything that's different in our own way, and that's got to stop.
With the new changes in society, you have to accept it. It is your literal civil duty to accept it, but it's completely fine not to understand it. If you're old-fashioned in that way, you're allowed to not understand it, because other people will understand it. And I think that people who do change their personalities in specific ways to make people like think, oh, that's a bit weird, like, should understand that these old time people and they're not the same as us.
I like to think that it's getting better as time progresses, but at the same time it's still quite prominent in society that people are getting judged for the way they want to appear.
In the recent years, people who've expressed themselves differently have actually been welcomed quite a lot, but in the past it hasn't been so easy on certain people.
Yeah, I think social media does have a big impact, because we now have these big celebrities who impressionable young people just completely idolise, and they're no longer just people that have talents or are in like the public eye. They are these perfect idols, which now have a level of beauty that is just unattainable, and all these young people want to be able to get to that, so it can create major body issues or all these problems within the youth.
I think that all types of media has a lot of influence on students and people that are younger age, especially if you grow up using social media and stuff like that. Like, if you're on Instagram constantly, like, you don't see there's not many alternative things on Instagram. You can't share things on Instagram as easy as you can on Facebook. On Facebook it's just one button. On Instagram you have to create a whole post. And if you like following certain people, you never actually get expanded into these different worlds.
Kinda, more so on the how you act side than the how you look side. So a few people just do what they want regarding how they look. I know quite a few people who will see something that celebrities wear and go out and buy it for themselves.
Social media has quite a large impact, especially things like Facebook, where people aren't afraid to express themselves, but very quickly they lose the courage to express themselves because Facebook doesn't really follow its kind of reporting procedure. If someone bullies someone because of the way they are on Facebook, it doesn't necessarily actually get solved or removed or anything like that. Therefore, people don't have the courage after that to actually express themselves.